On the night of my wedding, just seconds before we were supposed to say I do, my bride leaned into my ear and whispered 5 words that made my blood run cold. Don't panic. He's here. At first I thought she was joking, but when I looked up and saw who was standing in the back of the church, I realized my entire life had been built on a lie. And what happened next, I never saw coming. 3 years earlier, my life was painfully normal. I was 29, working as a software developer in Seattle. My routine was simple. Wake up, work, gym, sleep. Repeat. No drama, no chaos. And definitely no love story. Until the night I met Lena. It happened at a friend's birthday party at this small rooftop bar downtown. I almost didn't go. I had work the next morning and honestly just wanted to stay home. But if I hadn't gone, none of this would have happened. Lena walked in about an hour after I got there. And the room changed. She had this quiet confidence about her. Dark hair, green eyes, the kind of smile that made people instantly relax around her. But what caught my attention wasn't her looks. It was the way she laughed. Not polite laughter, real laughter. The kind that makes everyone around you start smiling too. We got introduced through a mutual friend. Mark, this is Lena. She shook my hand. Nice to meet you. And that was it. Nothing dramatic. No fireworks. Just a simple moment. But we talked the entire night about everything. Travel, movies, childhood memories, stupid jobs we'd both had in college. At one point the bar started closing and neither of us even noticed. Eventually she looked at her phone and laughed. Oh my God, it's 2 a.m. I remember saying something that would change my life. Do you want to grab coffee tomorrow? She smiled. I thought you'd never ask. And that was the beginning. Our relationship moved fast, but it never felt rushed. It felt natural. Lena was the kind of person who made ordinary moments feel special. Grocery shopping became adventures. Late night drives became therapy sessions. Even sitting on the couch watching terrible reality TV somehow felt meaningful. Within 6 months, she had basically moved into my apartment. Within a year, we were talking about marriage, and everyone loved her. My parents adored her. My friends said I had finally found someone who could tolerate my sarcasm. Life felt perfect, but looking back now, there were signs. Small things. Things I ignored. Because when you love someone, you don't look for reasons to doubt them. Lena had one strange rule. She never talked about her past. At first I thought it was normal. Everyone has things they don't like. Revisiting. But if I asked about high school, she'd change the subject. If I asked about old relationships, she'd joke it off. Even when I met her parents once during Thanksgiving, the conversation stayed strangely surface level. No old stories. No embarrassing childhood memories. Just polite conversation. I noticed it, but I told myself it didn't matter. Everyone deserves privacy, right? 2 years into our relationship, I proposed. It happened during a trip to the Oregon coast. Cold wind, gray sky, waves crashing against the rocks. I got down on one knee, and Lena started crying before I even opened the ring box. Yes, she said. Double quotes. Yes, of course, yes. It was the happiest moment of my life. Or so I thought. Wedding planning started a few months later. Everything was going smoothly. Too smoothly. Until one night, about 6 weeks before the wedding, Lena fell asleep early on the couch while we were watching a movie. Her phone buzzed on the table. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear, but the screen lit up with a message. Preview. And the name at the top made my stomach tighten. Unknown number. The message said, "You can't marry him. We need to talk." My heart started pounding. At first, I assumed it was spam or a prank, but something felt wrong. Really wrong. And that's when everything started to change.
Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new stories every day.
The next morning, I asked her about the message, casually, trying not to sound suspicious. Hey, someone texted you last night from an unknown number. Lena froze for just a second. Then she laughed. Oh, that's Probably just spam. Too quick. To rehearse. I felt it. Immediately. But I didn't push. Not yet. Over. The next few weeks, things started getting strange. Lena became distant. Her phone was always face down. She started taking calls in the other room. At night she stayed up later than usual scrolling through messages. Whenever I walked into the room, the screen would go dark. And every time I asked if everything was okay, she'd smile. I'm just stressed about the wedding. I wanted to believe her. So I did. But the feeling in my gut wouldn't go away. Then one night, everything escalated. It was about 3 weeks before the wedding. I woke up around 2 a.m. and noticed Lena wasn't in bed. The apartment was dark. Quiet. But the balcony door was slightly open. I walked out there. She was sitting on the floor, whispering on the phone. The moment she saw me, she hung up. Who are you talking to? I asked. No one. No one. At 2 a.m. on the balcony. Whispering. I felt anger rising in my chest. Lena, what's going on? She looked at me. And for the first time since I met her, she looked scared. I promise. It's nothing. But what happened next, I never saw coming. She started crying. Not small tears. Full breakdown. I'm just overwhelmed, she said. Wedding stress. And somehow, I let it go. Looking back now, I should have trusted my instincts. A week later, the truth started cracking through the surface. I was at work when I got a message on Instagram from someone I didn't recognize. The profile had no photo. No post. Just one message. If you're marrying Lena Carter, you need to see this. My heart stopped. Attached was a photo. And the moment I opened it, my entire world tilted. It was Lena, standing next to a man, her hand wrapped around his arm. Both of them smiling. But that wasn't the worst part. They were standing in front of a courthouse. And Lena was holding a document, a marriage certificate, dated 2 years ago. The exact moment I saw that photo, I felt like I couldn't breathe. My fiancée, my future wife, was already married. I drove home immediately. My hands were shaking the entire time. When I walked into the apartment, Lena was sitting on the couch like everything was normal. Hey, she said softly. I threw my phone onto the table. Explain. This. She looked at the screen, and the color drained from her face. Silence filled the room. Seconds felt like hours. Finally, she whispered, "Where did you get that?" I felt rage boiling inside me. Who is he? She closed her eyes. And that's when everything exploded. Lena started shaking. I was going to tell you, she said, but I was already yelling. You were going to tell me AFT are the wedding. Tears streamed down her face. No, I just didn't know how. Start talking. The next words she said changed everything. That man is my husband. The room went silent. I felt like the ground had disappeared beneath. Emmy, you're married. She nodded slowly. But it's not what you think. I laughed bitterly. Oh, I'm dying to hear this explanation. And then she told me the truth. Or at least, the version of the truth I wasn't ready for. 2.5 years earlier, Lena had married a man named Daniel. Not for love, for protection. Daniel was involved with dangerous people who laundered money and ran illegal businesses. Lena had gotten caught up in it through an old boyfriend. When things went bad, Daniel offered her a deal: marry him, and he'd keep her safe. At first I thought it sounded insane, but then she showed me something that made my stomach drop. Her arm. There was a faint scar I had never noticed before. They hurt me, she whispered. They were sending a message. The marriage wasn't romantic. It was an arrangement. Daniel protected her. And in return, she stayed legally tied to him. Until recently, because Daniel had disappeared 3 months ago, and the people he owed money to were now looking for him, which meant they were looking for her. And now they know about you. Lena whispered. Cold fear spread through my chest. What? The message you saw weeks ago. That was Daniel. He came back, and he said if I married you, you'd get hurt. My mind was spinning. You're telling me criminals are after you, and you thought the best solution was to keep it secret. I was trying to protect you, but the nightmare wasn't over. because right then, there was a loud knock on the apartment door. 3 slow knocks. Lena's face turned ghost white. He found me. My heart started racing. Who? She whispered 2 words. Daniel's brother. What happened next felt like something out of a movie. The door burst open. A man stepped inside. Tall, cold eyes, leather jacket, and when Lena saw him, she started shaking. Hello, Lena. He looked at me. Then smiled. You must be the fiancé. My body tensed. What do you want? He laughed. Relax. I just came to deliver a message. He stepped closer. Your wedding. He looked at Lena. Isn't happening. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Lena suddenly stepped in front of me. And said something that shocked everyone in the room. I'm leaving with you. My had snapped toward her. What? She looked back at me, tears in her eyes. This is the only way they leave you alone. And before I could react, she walked out the door with him. Just like that. Gone. No wedding. No explanation. No goodbye. That was 8 months ago. I haven't seen Lena since. No messages. No calls. Nothing. Sometimes I wonder if any of it was real, if the love we shared actually existed. Or if I was just another chapter in a story I was never supposed to be part of. But there's one thing that still keeps me awake at night. 3 weeks ago, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a photo. Lena. Standing on a beach somewhere far away. Alive. Safe. And on the back, for handwritten words, I'm sorry. I loved you. And honestly, I still don't know if that makes it better or worse.